So let's talk about something that I think we all kind of know, but maybe haven't really felt. Let's talk about poetry. And I'm not talking about the stuff from school, with all the rules and meters. No. We're going to get into the deep, fundamental human experience of it. Let's really dig into what that means. And honestly, this line says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what we're talking about. It suggests poetry isn't some high-minded art form. It's literally the sound of life itself. It's that feeling, that memory, that one single moment that just sticks with you and refuses to fade. Okay, so how do we actually get to the soul of poetry? Well, it all starts right where our normal, everyday words just stop working for us. It comes from a place that's way deeper than just our thoughts. Yeah, you can forget the dictionary definition. For our purposes, this is the only one that matters. See, poetry isn't really about the words themselves, it's about the feeling that comes before the words. It's born in that quiet internal space where our deepest emotions can just breathe. So, what exactly do we find in this quiet room of the heart? Well, this is the home of our most private, most profound, and, a lot of times, our most unspoken feelings. And poetry is what gives them a voice. It gives a voice to the sadness we feel but maybe don't want to show anyone. It gives a shape to the sorrow we carry around in silence. And on the flip side, it captures that sudden, unexplainable joy. That secret smile that comes from a good memory or just a moment of total peace. This really gets at the transformative power of poetry. It takes our toughest experiences and actually turns them into something beautiful, something meaningful. Sorrow can become music, and love can become a guiding light. Poetry is big enough to hold all of it. And this is why it's such an incredible companion, right? Because the world is so often telling us to just toughen up or get over it. But poetry creates this safe space. It validates every single emotion you have, the longing, the love, the quiet ache, and it just listens. There's no judgment. So if poetry is born inside of us, where do we find it out in the world? Because it's definitely not just in books on a shelf. It's actually woven into the fabric of our daily lives. I mean, poetry lives in these small, intensely human moments. It's in the hope of a prayer, the history you can feel in a touch, the pure, unfiltered joy in a kid's laugh. It's in the trust of a promise, the vulnerability of a quiet "I'm sorry." It's absolutely everywhere. And it's not just in those personal moments, but in the huge universal ones too. That feeling of awe when you're looking at the night sky, that sense of being this tiny part of something so immense but still feeling like you matter. That feeling is poetry. All of this is really building to one single powerful conclusion. If poetry starts in our hearts and we find it all through our lives, then it must live inside every single one of us. Think about it. Every one of us has a unique story, our own personal narrative. But we also carry our own struggles, right? Our internal storms. Poetry is the language that speaks to both sides of us, our light and our shadows. This is such a crucial takeaway. It totally democratizes poetry. You don't need a special title or a book deal to express a profound truth. The ability to put beauty and pain into the world is it's a human quality. We see it in how we live and how we care for each other. And really, this is the core of it all. Poetry isn't some intellectual puzzle you have to solve. It's an emotional experience. It's something that connects all of us in a level that's deeper than just words, reminding us that we all share this human experience. So you could say poetry does three incredible things. First, it's the language of the universe, of wonder and awe. Second, it's like a diary of the heart, where our deepest feelings live. And third, it's the echo of every emotion, reminding us that we are never alone in what we feel. And that brings us to this final idea, which can really reframe how we see each other. It invites us to look at ourselves and at every single person we meet with a little more curiosity, a little more compassion, to try and see the complex, beautiful, and unique poem that exists inside of them. So I'll just leave you with this question to carry with you. What are the verses of your joy, your sorrow, your hope, your story? What is the unique and beautiful poem that only you are writing every single day? Thanks for joining me on this one.